just, a couple of hernias, not a big deal, routine outpatient surgery. I saw 3 doctors, and the third one that I saw, I went with because I liked his bedside manner. We connected. I thought he was a really good guy, and he is a really good guy. So on December 15th, going into surgery, I was scared. I mean, I know it's outpatient, routine, laparoscopic surgery, but I haven't been in a hospital like that since I was born. I've had some stress fractures or a separated shoulder that didn't require surgery, but this was my first trip back to the hospital. And so I remember being in the pre-op room with Dan and Dax and my wife, and there was a clock on the wall, and the surgery was supposed to happen at noon, and that clock was moving as slow as the last day of school. If you remember back to when you were a kid, and 10 minutes passed, and 3 minutes passed, and 5 minutes passed, and finally 45 minutes, they were ready to take me back to the operating room. And I remember getting to the operating room, getting on the table, and that's all I remember. It reminded me of, in movies, sometimes the operating rooms are white. This one I felt like was like a stainless steel kitchen. That's what it looked like. And so I was out. And so with laparoscopy, if you're not aware, they do 3 holes, one belly button, they put a camera, and then one here and one here, and those are the instruments that work together to, do the operation. Well, they put the camera in, and again, I was told all of this, obviously I wasn't awake. And then they put the right one in, and then they nicked my aorta. And I guess what happened next was they cut me open 9 inches, 2 other doctors scrubbed in, and I lost 2 liters of blood. Blood was everywhere. Had 2 blood transfusions, and they stitched up the aorta, saved my life. And my first memory was hearing noises and hearing voices. I couldn't open my eyes, I couldn't move, but I realized there was a tube in my mouth, and I started like choking, and they started to notice I was waking up, and they said, "Todd, try to calm down. Surgery didn't go as expected. There's a lot of blood lost, and you just need to try to calm down." That's all I remember. And then I woke up in ICU, and my wife grabbed my hand and just said, "Honey, surgery didn't go as expected. You're in the hospital. They nicked your aorta, and you've got an incision on your abdomen," which I didn't want to see. I refused to look at it for a few days. And she goes, "And you still have 2 hernias." And I started to cry because I knew I'd have to be back in the hospital to fix the 2 hernias. Why didn't you fix the 2 hernias? And so, I wrestled with God. This was Thursday. I don't know when she talked to me, if it was Thursday night or Friday. And the slew of visitors, you guys texting, emailing, visiting, letting me know that you were praying for me just meant the world. You'll never know how much it meant. Just amazing. But I wrestled with God for a couple of days, and I came to the conclusion I either had a choice of revenge or forgiveness. And I started to think about people in war-torn countries and sex slavery and abuse and children and victims. And I considered myself a victim at that point, but not as much as those who have to live their lives without their family or just in their head and in their heart of what happened to them, sexual abuse or whatever. And I thought, I got to choose forgiveness. I can't live my life with revenge. And so I made a choice that day. And I said, it's not just a choice, it's an experience. The doctor has to feel that. He's got to see that, He's got to know that. And I told him that. I said, I forgive you. Everybody makes mistakes at their job. Yours is a little serious. And I also thought about my life. What if I was a part of a decision-making process that we didn't add a song that someone was supposed to hear for their eternity? And now they're in hell. And I thought, I might have sent someone to hell. This guy nicked me up. I'll be okay. Everybody makes mistakes in their job. And so a week went by in the hospital and a week went by at home. And I also began to realize there's no such thing as routine, right? I mean, you could get in your car today and things could just change forever. You could walk back to your office expecting to take another breath, and you don't. And I don't think we live in fear, but I think that when we realize that life is not routine, it is a gift, and that we can be in the good times, and when the bad times come, we can almost have a thankfulness that I'm alive, and I'll get through this with God's help. I was up the other night with my youngest till 11:30, and I was just fighting like, go to bed, but he was in so much pain because he was sick. And I thought, I'm alive. I can be here for him. I can be the dad to comfort him right now. And that just, I don't know, life has a new shade from me. And you have my permission to hold me accountable, to love God and love people. And if you see me acting in a way that is contrary to this, you have my permission to call me out on it. Because I never want to forget what happened in my life. And preparing to talk today, ironically enough, the verse of the day for the Bible app is 1 Peter 5:10. And it says, "And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you." And so I rest in that. I trust God. I've experienced so much grace and mercy in my life over the past couple of weeks. And I just wanted the opportunity to share with you that and share with you how much each of you means to me for being by my side and praying. I hope this event helps us become a stronger, close-knit team and family. And thank you. Just thank you for allowing me to share. I appreciate it.